Hey, it's Christina, and today we're going to talk about the difference between annuals, perennials, shrubs, trees, bulbs, and houseplants. So when you walk into the garden center, it is so exciting because there are so many options. But when you see signs that say this is an annual, or this is this, and this is that, it can be really confusing. So today we are going to define what each plant is and how they differ from one another. Let's start with annuals. They're a little bit tricky because there are kind of two types. There is a true annual, that is something that starts from a seed and grows all season and produces seed in that season. And then there are plants that we call annuals, but they're actually herbaceous perennials in other areas of the world where they can survive the winter. So when you see an annual in the garden center, you might notice two different types. There's something that is showy and it has a lot of flowers. Or there's something that has amazing foliage. And that is what annuals are known for. They're known for profusion because they don't have to spend the energy developing a really robust root system to support them for years afterward. They can just spend all of their energy on the beautiful flower or foliage show. And next up are perennials. So these are herbaceous plants that come back year after year from the same root system. So they grow all of their foliage and their flowers in one season, and they die back to the ground and then emerge again the next spring. So there are a few exceptions of perennials that are evergreen, like a hellebore that will keep its foliage over the winter, and then it will grow new foliage in the spring. And next up are shrubs. Shrubs have a woody structure, and they can be either deciduous, which means their leaves all fall off every fall, or evergreen, which means that they keep them. Shrubs will survive year after year when they're grown within their USDA hardiness zone range. So most shrubs don't die back down to the ground every year. They keep their woody structure and then they grow new growth off of that woody structure. Now, if you're wondering if you have a shrub or if a plant is a shrub, you can take a pair of loppers or pruners and just cut right across a branch. And then you look onto that stem and you'll see rings like a tree. Now, when it comes to a shrub's flowers, they can either be produced on old growth or new growth. And you can learn what that means in the link below. Those are the basics about shrubs. And next up, we're going to go talk about trees. Trees. So trees are the same as shrubs in that they have a woody base and that they can be deciduous or evergreen. They differ from shrubs in that they generally only have one stem or trunk, although there are exceptions, like you'll find with plants in general, and that the space in between the soil level and their foliage is much larger. And that's pretty much it on trees. Let's go find some houseplants. Houseplants. Now, these plants typically come from an area of the world that doesn't experience frosts, like the tropics. These plants can grow in your home because they don't need to experience the cold of winter to thrive year after year. And that's also why there are only some plants that can grow successfully in your home easily. A houseplant is generally adapted to the conditions of our homes. They can survive in low light, low humidity, although there are some that are pretty picky and need high light, high humidity, constant water, lots of fertilizing. But it's a choose your own adventure when it comes to a houseplant. And last, let's go find some bulbs. Bulbs and things like bulbs, like tubers and corms, can be perennials or annuals depending on how you treat them. There are bulbs that you plant in the ground and that will just come back year after year without you doing anything, like daffodils. There are also bulbs like amaryllis or tubers like dahlias that need special treatment. You could leave them in the ground if you live in a warm area, or if you live in a cooler area, you might have to take them out each year and store them. But it really depends on how you treat them. So those are the 6 most common types of plants that you'll come across during your next trip to the garden center. I hope that with this information, you are able to choose the best plants for you, your space, and your garden. And for more information, visit us at provenwinnerscolorchoice.com.